Alright, so do y'all remember when Harry Kane had his whole like Florida man episode? He was throwing a fit trying to leave Spurs for City, which didn't work out in the end, and Kane signed Haaland instead a season after. But what if City did pull off the Harry Kane signing? Today I've put Kane on City, deported Haaland back to Germany, and we're gonna see what happens. To start off the season, we had trash as hell Leicester, where Kane scored a debut penalty and De Bruyne produced a nice finish for a 2-0 win. Next it was upstarts Brighton away, but we eviscerated them, man. Mahrez got 2 lovely finishes for a brace and also helped Kane get his own brace as we won by 4. Quick visit to Spain saw us held goalless though by Sevilla as Phil Foden choked this golden chance, and then we welcome Arteta's Arsenal to the Etihad. The game began with another choked finish that Kane then recovered through a pen, but Saka equalized in the second half and we had to settle for another draw. But against our oil-funded counterparts, Grealish redeemed himself for the win, and that meant we were nearly perfect and top of the table after 6 games. West Ham ended up posing no threat as Gundogan tapped one in, Mahrez slid one in, and Kane bagged another penalty for a solid 3-0 win. Then it was Kane v Haaland at the Signal Iduna, and while Kane struck the first blow, Haaland fired back from 25 and the first meeting ended as a stalemate. And after that at Craven Cottage, Kane scored again, and though we actually lost the game, Kane continued his insane form and had 16 goals in 16 games. The second installment of Kane v Haaland was another draw, this time goalless as we dominated but we just couldn't find a way through. However, in the Manchester derby, no voodoo magic was allowed as Rodri cleared Sabitzer's free kick off the line and Mahrez solo run into a goal to get us a huge 1-0 win. A couple games later, we had a top of the table clash against Liverpool where another Mahrez solo mission led us to 3 points and a reclamation of top spot in the league. And then it was time for Kane to face his old brotherhood. The game started off extremely tense, couple rough tackles, couple block shots, but in the end it was Danjuma who went through and scored, avenging Spurs for us taking their star man. We went to the blue side of London after, and it went a little bit better as Ziyech and Mahrez exchanged goals leading to a split of the points. Then against Wolves we officially bounced back as Kane ended his short goal drought with a brace courtesy of 2 Grealish feeds, and Mahrez also slid one in for a comfortable 3-0 win. Following that, on Christmas we visited Southampton, and after messing up numerous gimmies, Ward-Prowse tucked away a pen and we lost a heartbreaker. Fortunately though, we ended the year with a win against Wolves, and that meant halfway through the season we were in second place, only 2 points behind Liverpool. Speaking of the Reds, we had them in the Carabao Cup semis, and the first leg at Anfield went pretty well for us as Mahrez went through early and Kane squeezed one in after to snag a 2-1 advantage. Then in the second leg we just had to hold, and after Kane blasted one in the 26th, it was pretty much over and we'd set up a rematch at the 2020 final. Before that though, we went to the Emirates where De Bruyne got it started with his week and Kane flashed a pen against his nemesis to get a deserving 3 points. Switch focus to the CO for a sec after, and at Leverkusen, a duo of Kane and Mahrez took care of business once again, bringing a 2-goal cushion back to England. And then it was time for the big one at Wembley. It only took 8 minutes for Kane to score the first, and then Mahrez nearly slid in a second if not for Lloris. Then Son went through one-on-one but choked and dented the woodwork while Mahrez did the same, but his went in and we denied Spurs a trophy once again. I almost folded with a sim in the Leverkusen second leg, but we won on pens, and then we welcomed Leeds for an exciting game. And by exciting, I meant exciting for Harry Kane's goal count as he snagged another brace for a 2-0 win. Kane now had a deranged stat line of 37 goals and 10 assists in 44 games. And the league was also heating up now as with 8 games to go we were second, 3 points below Liverpool. So we had some work to do, and against Chelsea, Kane got the only goal of the game to start that journey to the top. In the CL quarters we drew Bayern, but it was Alvarez with the penalty to snag us a huge away win. And then in the second leg, after a couple brilliant saves from both keepers, Harry Kane came through again with a big goal to send us into the semis. We continued our march upwards in the league at Bournemouth as Kane scored 2 left-footed goals assisted by Grealish and Mahrez for a 2-0 win. That had us sitting top of the table now by 2 points with 4 games left in the season. But first we had the semis, and guess who was standing in our way to the final? Unfortunately for Spurs fans, however, we got off to a hot start and never looked back, with De Bruyne and Kane scoring daggers to bring us a 2-0 advantage to North London. And the hurdle was too much for him to overcome, as while Son did score a penalty early, Rodri came through with his yearly banger to book us a ticket to the final. Prior to that though, we had to lock up the league, and while Palace did give us a scare, we scored the next 2 through Kane and Mahrez once again, and that secured us the league title. And after that, it was finally time for the big one, and guess who it was against? That infamous Norwegian man, Kane v Haaland, the finale. It was a cagey affair in the beginning, with Kane's air shot being the best chance of the first half. Then in the second, Grealish came agonizingly close, but he only struck middle. But as it always would, it came down to the 2-star strikers, and while Haaland absolutely muffed this tap in, Kane showed his composure in the 117th and won us the shiniest trophy of them all. We ended up winning the league by 6 points, wasn't terribly close in the end. Also, I didn't show the FA Cup because we got upset by Carlisle in the 3rd round. Kane ended one of the greatest individual seasons of all time with 44 goals and 12 assists in 59 games. Following behind him was a magnificent Riyad Mahrez with 26-10, and then Foden with 10-5, Grealish with 7-9, and that's gonna be about it. A resounding success. I mean, they achieved almost the same thing they did in real life with Haaland, but Kane clipped him in in the game, so make of that what you will. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you did. Comment ideas for future videos, share the video to people who you think would like it, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.